My name is Bowman, and I'm going to be doing a persuasive speech on climate change. As humanity advances, they devise technologies that could help alleviate or get rid of problems and inconvenience that we face day to day. But on the downside, as technology advances, more and more of the natural resources in the place that we live in are getting less and less and less, which third in turn negatively impacts the place that we impacts us. Today I'm going to talk about what these environmental problems are, and what we could do to help mitigate or alleviate these problems. These are these There are some examples of the environmental problems, such as rising temperatures, altered extreme weathers from the global warming, and air pollution from the carbon emissions from all the productions going on. The rising temperatures comes from an effect known as the greenhouse effect, in which the greenhouse effect, in which sunlight from the sunlight from the sun that's up getting trapped in the on the planet that's up trapped in the planet and that's up trapped in the planet by the harmful from the harmful gases that we end up producing to make our technologies. This is known as the greenhouse effect. This this trapped sunlight could in turn end up making the temperature rise up by a few dozen degrees, which could end up melting icebergs that could in turn bring the sea levels that could bring sea levels up. And due to the rising temperatures, droughts would occur more, and agricultural productions would be affected, with many crops failing to yield. And with the increase of global temperatures, more and more extreme weathers could happen, such as heat storms, such as wildfires due to the high heat, and more floodings from more and heavy precipitations, resulting in floodings in many areas. And due to the drastic increase drastic change in weather patterns, crop yield could decrease due to the crops that need certain weathers not getting the weather where they are most effective. And with the pollutions produced by factories, cars, and other such productions to make other technologies, we ourselves as humans would be affected too, due to the harmful gases that are being released into the air. Due to the harmful gases being released to the air, and that could lead to an increase in diseases related to the lungs and breathing, and allergies, and lead to an overall poor physical condition, like due to not being able to breathe properly, and having less exercise and such, and being able to do less exercise and such. To fight against this environmental problems, I propose that we increase research on finding new clean, renewable energy sources, such as solar powers, wind turbines, and such, and other efficient other renewable clean energy, so that we are not using fossil fuels, coals, and other such fuels to fuel the technologies that we're using right now. Pass laws that would hold those responsible for the pollution, that would hold those responsible for the air pollutions to be more accountable and do their best to mitigate this pollution, and engineer crops that would be less affected by the extreme weather, so that there would be no there would be less decrease in crop yields. To help alleviate this, to help in the effort against this environmental problems, all you have to do is go to the Environmental Defense Fund website, this, which is which is fighting against fighting for sustainability with it and living with the environment, so that we are not overusing the resources available in the area, in the place that we are in. All you have to do is go to the website and share the latest news that are posted on it on social medias or wherever you can. Make donations if you can, or influence the various leaders to take environmental friendly actions. So, with all said and done, while one person alone cannot help against this problems, I believe when every single one is working together as one against this, we can help alleviate or mitigate this problem problems. As I believe, if the human race don't do anything to keep the place we are in, or we are living in coexistence with, clean and safe, will we will be in danger.